Wealth comes from within you, my friend. It comes from your wisdom. It comes from your creativity. It comes from your problem solving. Listen, people say, all you see is problems. Exactly. All I see is problems, and I decide which problems I am here to solve. Hey, everybody, I'm Dr. Martin Williams. I love to help people figure out who they are, develop who they are, and deploy who they are in this world, in this amazing world that we've been given, but never lose themselves. The only way you cannot lose yourself in this amazing world is to know who you are and why you're here, what you're here to do. Wealth is not external. It's not something someone gives me. It's not something someone does to me. It's not something that someone wills to me. Wealth is really inside of me, according to Deuteronomy 8:18. It's inside. It's internal. No one can control my internal world except me. And you need to tell some people, some ideas to leave. They cannot live rent-free inside your mind. Can't live rent-free. Don't let it live rent-free. Evict those ideas out of your head. You might have to evict some friends, some people. You're just not going to talk to them all the time, just because of the way they think. Wealth comes from within you, my friend. It comes from your wisdom. It comes from your creativity. It comes from your problem solving. Listen, people say, all you see is problems. Exactly. All I see is problems, and I decide which problems I am here to solve. When I pick a problem to solve, I create wealth. When I pick a problem to solve, the bigger the problem you solve, the more money, the more wealth you can build. Wealth isn't just money, remember? Wealth is relationships, it's your health, it's your systems, it's all that stuff that builds and holds wealth, right? Not just talking about being rich, we're talking about being wealthy, that power to protect what you have as well. So we're in this place of developing leadership, innovation, changing things. We're disrupting things that haven't worked, and we're putting in systems that will now work. Provision is what God gives. Wealth is what God develops in you. He gives you the tool and he teaches you how to use it. That's how I view the Bible. I use the Bible for every decision that I make. The danger of the manna mindset, I might need to call something that. The danger of the manna mindset is when people become accustomed to provision. They can become this place where they become uncomfortable, and that leads to responsibility that they don't carry anymore, because they're uncomfortable with this idea of being a storehouse and a distribution house for wealth. Your provision in your life is going to depend on faith. It requires faith. Wealth requires faith and discipline. I mean, it requires, when you get into true provision, it is miraculous, but wealth requires management. Provision is temporary. Wealth can become generational. Martin, please help me understand. Why would God want me to be wealthy? Why does God want me wealthy? I am emphatic about it. I am. If you can prove to me in scripture and in reality why God doesn't want me to be wealthy, then I might listen. But again, bring it with you, right? Why does God want you to be wealthy? Because God is not against wealth. If he was against wealth, why would he give you power to get it? I didn't write that. I didn't write that. You didn't write that. He told Moses to write it. Moses had to write this because it's in Deuteronomy, the fifth. It's the fifth book in the Pentateuch, right? We got Genesis, we got Leviticus, right? We got Numbers, we got Deuteronomy. We got all these 5 chapters. Each one of them, you're created into. Exodus. Then in Exodus, you're separated from the sin that you fell from, the slavery, right? Leviticus tell you about the laws. This is how it's going to work, right? Numbers gets you ready to go into it, right? Deuteronomy says, okay, now I'm taking you into the promise. So before he put them in the promise, he said to them, listen, everything is about to change. Everything in your life is about to change. There will be no more manna. There will be no more slavery. There will be no more dependent on these kings that are out here. All these kingdoms that you've served for all these years, all these 400 or 500 years you've been serving. Now I'm flipping the script on you. And Deuteronomy 8, because they were told, listen, I want the first of everything. The first of everything, the first donkey, the first chicken, dedicate that to me, right? Because I'm giving you power to get wealth, not power to just live off another king in their kingdom, not just power to harvest manna from the ground, but I'm giving you power to create your own wealth. That's what this is. This is building generational inheritance. One generation, and I think David said, they will praise you one generation after another, after another, after another, after another, because of the wealth that's accumulating in your family. That's the goal of God for you and me. We've got to build generational inheritance. We have to fund kingdom expansion. We need to write the checks. We need to go to our pastors, our leaders, whatever you call them, and ask them, what is your vision from our church to do in the world? And whatever he or she says, we should be able to fund it. We should be able to say yes. We should be able to allow each one of I'm talking about kingdom churches now. I'm talking about kingdom churches. We should be able to fund the movement that needs to come. We stabilize our society. Can you imagine? Can you imagine in your city? Okay, I just want you to think about this. Can you imagine in your city that there are 1,000 churches? I mean, I'm sure there are more. We'll just use the number 1,000. There are 1,000 churches, and all of them believe in some idea. They have some idea of kingdom. They live these 1,000 churches. Let's say they have 1,000 members, 100,000 people who are living in that one community. And how about all those people in that church being wealthy? They're living in your neighborhood, but they're wealthy, they're safe, they're peaceful, they have money, they're giving not just to their church, but they're giving to the world. They're a part of society. What would the world be like? What happens to you and everybody in your church when they have everything they need? Now we can do something big. We can stabilize our community. Wealth allows the kingdom to build infrastructure. Family infrastructure, banking infrastructure, health infrastructure, job infrastructure. That's what we are here to do. We're not here to rely on anyone else to do it for us. So the shift every believer has got to think about, and you got to make this shift. There must be a transition from daily bread thinking to dominion thinking. From Lord, provide for me, to Lord, develop me. From survival to stewardship. So the question of the kingdom is not how much money do you have? The question of the kingdom is, what responsibility can God trust you with? Because wealth in the scripture is not primarily about money. It's about capacity to make a difference in the world that you and I have been assigned to. Here's some things that you might need to think about. These are like call to actions, questions we have to wrestle with all the time. Ask yourself this question: am I praying only for provision? Am I praying for just provision? Or am I developing capacity? Am I asking God to pay my bills? Or am I asking God to expand my influence? Oh, now you want to be famous. If I can help more people, yes, I do. I want people to know that I'm here to serve. I want the leaders I submit to, my pastor, my business upline, the people I'm in association with. I want them to know I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help make the world better. That's what I'm here for. So that's influence, folks. Am I satisfied with manna, or in the depths of my heart, do I truly want dominion that was subscribed and introduced and expected of me? What do I want? I think I know the answer, but I want you to answer it right now while you're watching this. While you're watching this right now, ask yourself the question, am I asking for provision, or am I truly representing a life where I'm asking to be a steward? I'm asking to have more than I need so that I can be a part of this world, not just receiving, but I want to be on the giving end. If you've been just asking and expecting provision, I want to challenge you to study for yourself. You don't have to believe anything I've said, but study for yourself. Study the world, study the word, study the character of God, our creator, Elohim, Jehovah Jireh, who provides everything for everything you're called to. Everything you're called to it already has a budget. So how are you approaching life? Is this something you really, really, really believe? Or do you need to really challenge your own faith and belief in the difference between provision and God giving you dominion? The goal of the kingdom is dominion. And dominion requires more than provision. It requires wealth and responsibility. That's where things change. Go ahead and subscribe and watch the next video.